much to dig into regarding this investigation of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Joining me now to help give us some more perspective, workplace sexual harassment expert, attorney Jonathan Bell. Attorney Bell, thank you for joining us. I guess the big question will be, will we continue to see more evidence come out regarding Governor Cuomo and him to remove himself from office? Should he do that first to avoid this?
He should 100% resign. This is just getting worse and worse for him. With these resignations, it's not surprising. Melissa DeRosa apparently was named in that report many times over. And it seems though complaints were brought to her attention, and she was one of the people who actually swept them under the rug in an effort to protect Governor Cuomo. As a sexual harassment lawyer, that's the last thing that you ever want to do in these types of cases. Ultimately, Governor Cuomo, who was very important to the Me Too matter here in New York and requiring all these employee and employer training on an annual basis, now turns around and violated everything that he wants the employers and employees to learn about sexual harassment in the workplace, what not to do, and especially the retaliation aspect and the hiding of the complaints is just atrocious. Governor Cuomo has to resign. It's a must. If not, he's quite certainly going to be impeached.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he is literally digging his heels in. Is it worth him resigning or being only the second governor in the state of New York history to be impeached?
Well, it's inevitable. So he really should resign and save some face as opposed to going through these hearings. More information is going to come out through these reports. And out of the 11 women who came forward, I guarantee through his history, there were more women that might feel now more confident in coming out where they don't feel as before that they're going to be retaliated against to support it. So the longer this drags on, the more people are going to resign, the further his name is going to be dragged through the mud. And as far as I'm concerned, his political career is over. And there's going to be a number of sexual harassment cases brought against the state of New York for which the state of New York and Governor Cuomo is going to both be liable.
Yeah, Attorney Bell, so at this point, if he doesn't resign and he's impeached, he can never run for office again in the state of New York, correct?
That is correct, but I think he's done either way.
And that's tough considering his father was the former governor. I mean, his family has a history of some type of political involvement.
That's true, but I don't feel bad for him. He brought it upon himself. Some people, and especially like him in a position of power, to take advantage of all these women who are in the workplace, trying to either further their career politically or they just need the job to pay some bills, and to take advantage in that situation and then hide it and have the people around him hide it as well is just disgraceful.
Well, Attorney Bell, what about guilty until proven innocent? Do you know something that we don't? Because you seem quite convinced that he has done these, what he's being accused of.
Well, there's never a determination made until a judge or jury says so. But at the end of the day, I've been doing this for many, many years, over 20 years. I can tell you from experience, where there's smoke, there's fire. If it's a one-on-one or maybe even two-on-one complaint, but when you have 11 people who came out and stuck their neck out and made these very viable and specific complaints, it's just a matter of time.
And Attorney Bell, we also heard from the New York Assembly. They also discussed that he faces other allegations, including the fact that he's being accused of using state resources to produce his book, also his handling of those COVID-19 nursing home deaths. How damning is this all coming out at once, considering the report from the AG's office?
Well, in a sense, it's not surprising. It's the old saying of, kick him while he's down. But the thing with the nursing home, I mean, that's been brewing for a while. It's just really upsetting considering the fact that, including myself, a lot of people had a lot of respect for him very early on, the way he was seemingly handled the pandemic, the way that he broke everything down and seemed to be very relatable. People were talking about him running for president or even vice president, and to fall off from grace like this is sad. But like I said, this is something that he brought up against himself, and he has no one to blame but for himself.
Yeah, he also won a TV Emmy for those daily TV briefings. Can you just tell us where we are in terms of the impeachment process?
Well, we're very early on. It's somewhat of a vague process. I anticipate this is going to go on for a month or so. They could rely on the investigation, or they could seek some testimony through subpoena power. It's going to go on for a little bit of time, but we'll see what happens in the end. I think everyone's confident and knows ultimately what the end result is here.
All right, attorney and workplace sexual harassment expert Jonathan Bell, thanks for joining us.